Hey folks, I'm Dennis. Welcome to my channel. Do you have an old propane grill that just needs a little bit of help? Well, today I'll show you how to get it fixed up and cooking like it should. Let's get started. I have a char-broil commercial series grill. Some grills may be a little different depending on what type you've got, but for sure with a char-broil and especially with the commercial series, this should take care of what you need to do. Mine's a few years old. It's working okay, but it needs some help. The grates are beginning to delaminate from rust, so I need to replace them. The burners are the burner tubes have burnt through, and the crossover tubes have burnt up. So I'm going to show you how to replace all of that today. I went on to Char-Broil's website and I ordered new parts. I ordered new flash guards, burner tubes, crossovers, and new grates. So I'm just going to replace those, and that'll make basically the inside of the grill good as new. The grates just lift out. You just use the hole, and lift them out with your finger. Now, if you've got like an outside fire pit or something like that, you could probably keep the old grates if you didn't want to throw them away, and clean them up a little bit and oil them and probably use it on a fire pit. The flash guards just lift out. They're no problem. They just lift out. I'll show you this as well as I can. These are the burner tubes. As you can see, all the crossovers on mine are gone. They've except for this one, they've all rusted away. Most of the time this stuff is very rusted because of the heat. So there's that pin. That's what's left of one of the crossover tubes. The replacement parts, you get new cotter pins, which is good because, as you can see, these are all breaking because they've been shot out. I might have to knock the other side out of these, or pull the other side out of these pins. Yep. So the end of the cotter pins on the burner tubes is breaking off, but you can just pull it out the other side like so. And if it gets stuck or whatever, just push it from the back side and then pull it out. Needle nose pliers would be the easiest thing to work with. You could probably do it with regular pliers too. And you can work all of those loose off of those pins. Now these are the burner tubes. The burner tubes slide into here and they go onto like a Venturi tube in the end of this burner tube. We've taken the cotter pins off, of course, so now we can slide them up. So you get this up to where you're kind of clear of this ledge, and you can slide this tube off of the Venturi and out. And then what you'll see is you've got the igniter on a bracket or a clip that goes onto the burner tube. They don't, when you just buy the burner tube, they don't send this. Now you can buy this also and replace it as well. I didn't, because mine aren't completely rusted apart, and I didn't want to spend any more money on it. Grill parts are fairly expensive anyway, so I didn't want to buy anything I didn't have to have. So I'm going to take a slotted screwdriver and I'm going to open up this clip and get it off of this burner tube. Just get it off of one side and be, you want to be kind of gentle because this is porcelain. You don't want to crack it. It's not like an eggshell or anything or a light bulb, but it's still fairly delicate. So You just don't want to break it while you're doing all this. Otherwise you have to buy a new igniter. So there's the igniter. I'm not going to disconnect it because I'm just going to attach it back to the new burner tube, and then that's the old burner. So you can see in the end where there's a hole, that's what fits up on the venturi that's on the back side of the knob on the front. Just a little bit of ash down in there, so otherwise that's all fine. Okay, now the new tube comes like this. It's got a couple of new clips in it and a new pin, and then the burner tube itself. So they give you two new cotter pins, one for the crossover tube, or the burner tube to hold it down, a new pin for the crossover tube, and a new cotter pin for the crossover tube. So this goes in here like so. So you're going to snug that up, and then just take your slotted screwdriver and make sure that it's in there tight. And now all we've got to do is, there's a couple of recesses here that hold that igniter clip on. So we're going to put the new igniter clip on, or the old igniter clip on this way, and clip it onto the new burner tube. Not a whole lot of slack, but they give you enough slack on here to work with it. So just get one side on there, and I would not hold on to the igniter to put this on. I would hold on to the clip itself so I don't break that igniter. But then that's all you got to do is just make sure that it's clipped on there good and not going to come off, so that's fine. And then what you do is slip this tube into the hole slip this burner tube into the hole that's just opposite of the knob. That's where that venturi tube is. And you can stick your finger in there and feel it if you want to. It's about as big around as a pencil, and it fits inside that hole in the end of the burner tube. So what you're going to do is you're going to get it onto that tube, and then basically I think the best way to do this is to get this as low as you can as you put it on there, and then you'll feel it go on there, and then it'll just slip right in. And once it does, then you can put that on the burner on the retention pin up here, and then you're ready to put your new cotter pin in. Now you'll slide the straight in, or there's a straight side and a curved side. You'll put the straight side through the pin, and then the pin will end up in this hole here to lock the cotter pin down. Just like that. I'll zoom in on that so you can see it. Yep. Just like that. So then we're going to do that on all four burner tubes. And then we'll do the crossover tubes. You may find on some of these that the igniter lead is a little long and it gets in your way, so you can pull that out and then get the burner tube in. But when you do, make sure that you stick the igniter lead back inside this shroud, because you don't want it in the firebox. So now that's all your burner tubes. That's all good. So we're ready for the crossover tubes. Now when you order them, you only have 3 because there's 1, 2, 3. You don't have one going to the edge. They just come in a bag with the tube and a couple of cotter pins. You're going to end up with more cotter pins than you need. But the cotter pins that they send with these crossover tubes are the exact same pins that they send with the burner tubes. So at least that's true with char-broil. 2 come with each one of these tubes, so make sure that you don't have one stuck in there. Make sure you get 2 out of the bag with it. So you just put them on there like that. Like that. And like that. And then you put your cotter pins in each one of these. You'll have to push it down probably to make the hole visible. Especially on the ones where there's two flanges. But like on this one and this one, you're going to have two thicknesses because you've got both crossover tubes. But you just need 1 pin there, obviously, to hold those down. There, that's that. Then you take the new flash guards. They just set on. There's some ridges in the shrouds here that hold these flash guards in place. So you just set them. They just set on there. They don't pin in or anything on this grill. Now some grills they do. Some grills will have like a cotter pin. These don't because they just stay put. And I think they're important because they keep the flame from coming up and burning your food. It evens out the heat inside the grill, especially if you're cooking meat or anything that's got a little bit of fat in it. I think it does a better job of not letting the fire flame up and burn your food. So the last thing to do is to put the new grates in. Grates come boxed up like so, 1 in each box. And then of course they just set in like this. Now I will tell you this, before I put these grates in and use them, I'm going to take them and oil them down top and bottom real well with some olive oil, something like that. I believe that helps keep them from rusting as quickly. A lot of people complain about these cast iron grates rusting, and I've had this grill for about 6 years, and my grates just have begun to rust in the last 6 months or so. But I've always kept them oiled, so I think that's the key. A lot of people have complained that they've had to replace their grates pretty regularly, and I think that's why maybe they don't get oiled. What I'll do is I'll oil them top and bottom, and then I'll turn the grill on, or fire the grill up, and heat them up just a little bit. Not real hot, but heat them up a little bit to kind of season them and let that oil soak in. And then I may come back and wipe them down again after they're cool with like a paper towel that's got a little bit of olive oil on it, just to make sure that there's a good coating on there, and then they're fine. Now what I will also do is before I cook each time, I'll spray them down with olive oil. I just get some of that olive oil cooking spray and spray them down before you light the grill. You don't want to spray any kind of oil in there after the grill's lit, of course. It'll flare up on you. All right, that's that. Let's check it out. fired up. 2 burners. 3, 4. That tells me the crossover tubes are working well too. All the burners are fired up. All the crossover tubes are lit. And so you can see looking through here how evenly and how nice all 4 of the burners are burning now. Before I had just all kinds of flames coming out from underneath the flash guards, of course, because the tubes were shot out and the crossover tubes were non-existent. Now what I'll do is I'll let all 4 of those burners heat up, and I'll close the lid and let this grate get hot, and then I will wipe it down with oil one more time and it'll be done. Okay, so that's all there is to it. That job only took a few minutes, and it's not terribly cheap because grill parts are expensive, but it's a lot cheaper than replacing the grill. And that's the way I look at it. I've had this grill for about 6 years, so it's time to do some part replacement. And with a little bit of money, a lot less money than what a new grill would cost, I've got a brand new grill on the inside, and it'll be fine for at least another 6 years. So now if your grill needs to be tuned up, you can do it yourself. Save a lot of money from having to buy a new grill or pay somebody else to do it for you. Thanks for watching my channel and this video. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. If you would, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and please share my video around if you would. It really helps me and I appreciate it. I'm really thankful and humbled for all the support that I've gotten on my channel. I appreciate you and every other viewer, and I just can't thank you enough. So I hope to see you back soon. Take care and God bless.